unfortunately, we live in a society where, the media is really sensationalist. Like, things are overly sensationalized. People, a lot of times make up things just to elicit a response. Like, to get more views, to sell more papers. Like, it's like that, episode of SpongeBob I remember where Mr. Krabs, starts a newspaper because it makes money. You realize it makes a lot of money, and he thinks, wait, but people aren't gonna buy as many papers. Like, people are less likely to buy it when it shows like SpongeBob. What he normally do is just report what's actually happening in reality, because that's actually kind of boring, just reporting what's there. And but Mr. Krabs was like, but if you make up stuff, if you exaggerate it, like Larry the Lobster was beat up by Pipsqueak when he did a fake being punched in the chest or whatever. Um, if you ruin people's lives by writing these lies and having these rumors spread to ruin people's lives, then you're gonna make more money. So, I mean, because the media, like, pretty much, and the YouTubers do this a lot. Like, everyone does this, and especially the media, probably any group that's not aligned with them, they try to make up stories about them, or they try to, in every group, in every subculture, there's a culture within that subculture, or just a group within that subculture that's like a bad depiction of that culture. Like they do this with Wiccans, pagans, with uh Muslims, with Wiccans, Muslims, males, feminists, vegans, celebrities. Like with Muslims, like what you see in the media is that the majority of terrorists are Islamic, which is true, but the majority of Muslims aren't terrorists. So, we live in a fear-based culture, so just, like, they're trying to make you scared. That's why they depict Satanists or whatever as these awful people, when in reality, it's actually a lot of them consider themselves like atheists almost. So it's very, what you see on TV a lot of times isn't what's happening in reality. What you see on TV isn't what's happening in reality. Like Marilyn Manson says, times have not become more violent, just more televised. Like, this reminds me of the apartheid in South Africa, where, these are just flat out lies. They're not based on reality at all. But, the white schools, didn't they teach the white kids that the Africans have, they really have smaller brains and they eat babies, or, I don't know, they do. I don't know, they're so backwards and they're, I don't know, some made up shit. But yeah, they said it was unfortunate how the majority of white people in South Africa had never been to a black neighborhood at that time, so they had no idea what was actually going on. So if you want to find out what's actually going on, this is called yellow journalism. Yellow journalism, where they just make up lies or use their best guess, I guess, without doing any actual research or investigating. That's why Nellie Bly was a great journalist, investigative journalist, when she actually checked herself into an insane asylum to find out how the mentally disabled are being treated, so she didn't just make up stuff. and you found out no, it was actually at the time pretty horrifying. Like, people had no idea about what was proper treatment back then. Proper treatment. What I really want to talk about is how the majority of vegans on YouTube, the ones on YouTube, because the majority of vegans aren't, they don't make YouTube videos, or if they're not, they're just living their lives like normal people, just choosing not to eat any animal products, no meat, fish, chicken, birds. I won't see why fish and birds are considered not meat, but they are red meat, white meat, dark meat, whatever. It's all the same. It's just meat, and a lot of them don't eat honey. Some eat honey. Majority don't eat honey. I don't see the point in eating honey because I tried all local honey ones. I didn't really like it. No cheese or that's dairy. Because when you think about like cow's milk, that's the milk designed for cows. Because you won't give humans milk to like cats, or you won't give cat's milk to a baby. You won't give dog's milk to a horse. You won't give horse milk to a panda. You wouldn't give panda milk to an elephant. It's like, because like an elephant is so much bigger than a human or a lot of animals. So you'd think, it wouldn't be kind of bad for the other animal to be drinking what was designed for some other, a different species, something that's pretty totally different. Because cows they're supposed to get a lot bigger, a lot faster than humans, and they walk on all fours. They have 4 stomachs, and they have different diets than humans. So the human diet, that's what breast milk is made up of. The mother's diet becomes what's in the breast milk, or at least the nutrition, the chemicals in it becomes the breast milk for the baby. So, and I was talking about like vegans on YouTube. You are more likely to pay attention to or hear more about like some of the more extremist vegans, or I don't know, like Freely and Vegan Gains. Those aren't real vegans. Even though they eat a vegan diet, they're like on their own planet. They're on their own planet. They're not like normal vegans. The majority of vegans are just, like you said, normal people who live out their lives. Sometimes they dumpster dive for bagels, or they eat stuff after the expiration date. I guess I'm still vegan because I have to admit I did something that was unvegan. I ate a bug. Yeah, it was an insect, a Chinese spider lanternfly, but my defense is it was an invasive species, so I had to kill it anyways because it was in the quarantine area. I even called the center that wants you to report spot lanternflies, and they said that's the quarantine area, so any that you see in that area, kill them. Because, it's an invasive species, especially when it's from a different country, one that's all the way across the ocean. From China, it's in America, so I needed to kill it either way. And it tasted kind of bitter, but I like bitter things. I think bitter is a taste. It shouldn't be so so ostracized in our palates, because most people never, they choose not to experience bitter, and yeah. Uh, I think it's just something a normal human is supposed to experience, bitterness. So yeah, Freely and vegan gains are not, they're not real vegans. They're on their own planet. They're in their own world. They, because Freely and I think vegan gains too, they live so much differently than most humans. Like most vegans, just live in, I guess they could live in urban areas. They live in the city or suburban or rural. Well, there are less vegans in farming communities because they're less educated, or they're just like their livelihood kind of depends on exploiting animals, or I don't know. I mean, I guess in agricultural societies they grow a lot of their own food. Like they grow a lot of vegetables, so they're mostly vegan. Um, just yeah, it's like the media is really sensationalized. They use emotionally loaded language, like politicians use that because they want to evoke a response. That's why when I was taking statistics in high school, we went over the methods of survey, and when we got the survey that was like voluntary response, yeah, it's not gonna be like accurate. It's gonna be biased because when it's a voluntary response, you're more likely to get someone who has something to complain about, someone who has a really strong opinion, who's loud. The media likes loud people because they're more entertaining, and you're not gonna get, for every loud person that has something to complain about, who has a strong opinion, there are like a bunch more people who are just kind of, no, I'm not gonna do that voluntary response because, like, if I did, I'd just check off satisfied or overly satisfied, strongly satisfied for everything. Like, I'm not really gonna, I don't know, change it. It's like everything's fine. I don't care. I don't have a problem with it. Um, so like unnatural vegan is probably a good one because she is more, because more grounded, more realistic, rational. Uh, the vegan atheist is a good one. Um, uh, like Freely, isn't she fruitarian? Because I mean that's sort of extremist. Like I don't think it's extremist to mostly fruit, because like when you think of our ancestors, like our closest relatives, aren't they the other primates? Bonobos, chimpanzees, monkeys, gorillas, orangutans. Don't they eat mostly fruit? They eat a lot of fruit because I mean they live where it grows. So maybe humans were never supposed to leave those areas because I mean fruit doesn't grow as readily in like Scandinavian stuff, but I don't know. But yeah, she Freely's fruitarian because I mean she moved to Ecuador. Doesn't she live mostly off grid, or I don't know? She eats some, like, isn't she like completely raw or mostly raw? Because I mean I think that's the extreme part of diets. Like when Michelle Tushik was doing a fruitarian diet, the extreme part wasn't that it's vegan and it's not eating any animal products. The extreme part was that it's completely raw. It's completely raw. So I mean, just nothing cooked above 114 degrees. I mean, maybe we are supposed to eat more raw food. Like, on a mostly raw, I think is a good diet. So it's just me here being vegan, eating bugs if they're invasive species. So sign off. Love you, YouTube. Bye.